Okay, now this is the part where I say microphone check, microphone check. Okay, it works. Good, good, good. Mexico, my god, we're getting closer to the end of the season. Round 21 out of 23. 3 races left. After this one, there'll only be 2 left. Wow. Been racing for a while. So, good evening everyone. Welcome to ASRC Racing. This is round 21 out of 23. We're racing here in Mexico at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. I definitely botched that, I'm sorry. But, the Mexican Grand Prix. So, a lot is at stake tonight. Most importantly, the championship. It's going to be a double dry race, so we're going to have DRS. So at least that's something we can look forward to. As a couple drivers get themselves out on the lap. We have one reserve. It's Ozzy that reserves for Ferrari. So as I was saying, at stake tonight, the championship. So there's a lot of ways the championship can be won or can stay alive, but there are 2 contenders to it. It's Orange Juice in the Red Bull and Q's in the Mercedes. Now, if Q's finishes anywhere higher than P2, he wins the championship automatically. Now, if OJ wins, I think there's a couple of things that have to be put into consideration. But if OJ wins, I think if Q's finishes lower than P3, then he's still alive. There's a lot of ways that the championship can be claimed. So if Q's finishes higher than P2, he clinches the championship. If Orange Juice finishes P2, he's still alive, but Q's only has to finish higher than P8 to clinch the championship on his part. So OJ can afford a P2, but he'll have to hope for Q's to bin it. As Panju, our last pole sitter, currently leading in pole positions in Tier 1, is going to be the first one to get out for a hot lap as we are on board with Panju. Mexico, pretty tricky track. Could lead, I remember back in Season 2, this race had a couple of safety cars. I think we had the E-Mod, Q's, and a couple of guys DNFing. I finished that race in P4. That was one of my best races in ASRC. As sadly, goes out of track. And that lap will be denied. ASRC Leclerc will be next. So those S's are really potential for every driver to get by and get a lap deleted. So ASRC Leclerc starting on the mediums for his first lap. Most likely trying to get a time, and if he doesn't get pole, he'll go for another one. A couple of yellow flags, that's just people letting people by. As Leclerc goes fastest, well, for now, he's the only one that put in a time. 1:15.851. As Panju goes for another lap. I think he has enough fuel to go for that one, and we're going to have a couple of times being put on the board. There's a Ferrari of Elsie Blexer, P2 with a 1:17.570. A couple of people still going on their hot lap on board with Panju. He's got a purple sector 1, mindless. Goes second quickest, a 1:17.06. We're gonna get Mr. Wildman. That's gonna start his hot lap. Taking a look at the mini map. As Senna goes third fastest, and Orange Juice goes fastest, a 1:15.390. Crazy Mike puts himself in a P3 for 1:69.78. We're gonna have the other Ferrari, Alessio Bort's his lap, Ozzy. Yeah, Ozzy's going back in the pits. And yeah, so for now, 6 drivers have put in a lap time. And Ponju should be the next one to put in his. And on the soft compound, Ponju takes pole, a 1:15.256. Next up, I think, who will be the closest? Oh, and there's a spin. It's Wi-Fi. He spun. And his lap won't go any further than that. The next one is going to be able to put in a lap time will be Jacob. So a lot of drivers opting for the mediums for their outlap as Jacob gets his lap denied. Mr. Wildman also has a lap denied. Senna most likely going into the pits, another lap denied. Crazy Mike. Lots of laps that have been removed or deleted. There's Skiller was on an out lap. A couple of people going to be starting their new another lap. Wildman being one of them. Curtis starting his. And both Mercedes now next to each other. Emod and Q's. So Q's gives a toe to Emod. And they're both flying. And a quick switcheroonie. As the top 6 all in the pits. Mr. Wildman should be getting pretty close to finish his lap. Yellow flag in Sector 1. I think it's just Q slowing down, or Emod. As Mr. Wildman crosses the line, that's P6 for him. Next up, I think that's Casper. It's going to put in a lap time, and it puts in P4. What a lap by Casper. Jacob, I think, had another lap deleted, so he'll have to go for another round. FBR Brewdog starts his. Curtis goes into the pits. Ozzy starts his hot lap. And oh, that's a spin by Jacob. And I think he's going to have to pit after this one. So Emod aborted his lap attempt. And now Q's. I don't think, no, that's not going to be a lap for him. As Skiller crosses the line, P10. The slowest time thus far, but the fastest Sector 3. At least that's promising. So Jacob most likely going to the pits. So is Q, so is Emod. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. I don't know if it's cars letting people by. But Orange Juice is going to be trying and get an even faster lap than Ponju. Pedal to the metal, and here he goes. Now he's only a 10th on the time that Ponju made. Drivers that have yet to put in their lap times. As Ozzy crosses the line, that's P5. 1:16.775. And he goes fastest Sector 1. And up into Sector 2, the S's. Oh, and he spins! Oh, he hits the wall! OJ's out! And he's not gonna get that pole position. He spins, he crashes, and he's out of qualifying. Oh, that's terrible. With few races remaining, with every point that counts. Orange Juice spins it and goes into the wall on a lap where he was looking locked in for pole. So I think Brewdog will head into the pits. He will. Dulcie Blixer will start his hot lap. Wi-Fi has a lap denied. And oh boy. So as of now, Orange Juice is P2. But he is crashing. He's out of the race. Not out of the race, sorry. He is out of qualifying. Sorry about that. A little bit of a mishap. Now, is Panju? No, he's on the deleted lap time once again. Is Killer doing an in lap? Oh no, Killer spins! And he breaks part of his wing and he's going to have to pull into the pits. That's going to do it for his lap. Wi-Fi now next to Wildman. Wildman moves aside, lets Wi-Fi by. LC Blakes are currently on a hot lap. Seems to be going pretty well for him. LC Blixer looked like the contender to Q's for most of the start of the season. The fastest sector 2. Sadly got off a lot of wheel problems. And got him a couple of DNFs, which puts him out of contention. And he crosses the line. That's P6 for Blixer. He's right next to his teammate. Now, Wi-Fi. He's going to have a lap deleted. He heads into the pits as Mr. Wildman starts his hot lap, and this time he's on the softs. So Mr. Wildman put a pretty good lap on the mediums, which puts him P9 for now. Can he get a better one on the softs? As if you look at your right of the screen on the minimap, you'll see the two Mercedes are both going on their lap. And Q's again in front of Emod. As Wildman puts a fastest sector 2. And now it gets into the tricky part. Goes almost into the barricade, almost pulls a Bottas. Crosses the line and Wildman P4, what a lap. As Yakoboy snatches pole away from Panju. A tenth faster, and now Jacob is on pole. And Q still warming up his tires as Emod, oh, and he gets a lap deleted once again. Now Casper on an in lap, on an hot lap, sorry, has to avoid a driver, and that denies his lap. So a lot of deleted lap times. Panju looking to improve. Can he get by and get back that pole position? I wonder if I can enlarge the map a little bit. Hold on a second. Ah. Yeah, no, that's my normal one. Sucks. Thought I would have been able to at least make my map a little bigger. As old Panju lap deleted. So it has been the story here tonight as Curtis retires. Now Emod currently on the fastest sector 1. So right now, Jacob, Panju, OJ, Mindless has your front 2 rows as Emod again lap deleted. Once again. Deleted lap times is the story here. No one seemed to get a single advantage. As everyone pulls into the pits, they're going to get out pretty soon if they want a chance for that pole position. As right now, 1:15, 1:69, that is your fastest time so far, and it's by Jacob and the Alpines. As Brewdog, fastest sector too. Can Brewdog get a surprise pole? What a surprise that would be. As Brewdog crosses the line, P7, he's right next to his teammate. Pretty good lap by Brewdog there. As Jacob now, he's on his out lap and he has his teammate right behind him, trying to get Crazy Mike all the way up to the front. And Wi-Fi doesn't have a lap denied so far. Hope I'm not jinxing him. As now drivers get out of the pits and start their march. As Wi-Fi crosses the line, P10. He splits the Ferraris in half. Now Skiller on his hot lap. Currently slowest overall of the drivers that have put in a lap time. And we're going to have a couple of drivers going back and forth. With not much remaining here in qualifying. Greatly executed by Skiller. Already a little bit faster. And for these drivers, it's going to be most likely the last opportunity they'll get at a lap. And Skiller crosses the line and he goes up to P13. So at least he improves. Now, Q's and Emod, both waiting for their opportunity. Jacob and Crazy Mike. As Jacob, and he gets out of the track. And he gets a lap time denied, but at least he might get the chance for another one. Or he might help a little bit his teammate, who has the fastest sector too right now, Crazy Mike. Could he get a surprise pole? As I think that was either a driver moving out of the way or a spin. But I think that's FB or not. No, it's Mindless. As Crazy Mike crosses the line, P5. Mindless looks to have spun. So that's going to do it for his qualifying. Ponju. Can Ponju reclaim pole position? It's probably his only chance. Ponju crosses the line. No, that's so close. He improves, but not enough. But he still has one more chance. As Brewdog retires. And now it's time for the final laps. As I think Ozzy pulls into the pits, so that's going to do it for him. At the other Ferrari, LC Blixer. That. As he crosses the line, P6. Next up, I think that's, no, that's not FB or Nut, that's Mindless. So Mindless, he's out of there. Gonna get to everyone here. Next up to cross the line will be Emod. Oh, and he hits the wall. Emod hits the wall. He's still going to get a lap in. And that's enough for 9th. Imagine if he hadn't hit the wall. Q's now. Can he snatch pole away? No, he pulls into the pits. And will start last. Oh, man. This makes it interesting. Ponju lap denied. He's not going to get overtaken. Leclerc also lap denied. And so that's going to do it for qualifying. It's Jacob on pole in Mexico. So Jacob on pole for this race. And that is gonna make it interesting. Hello. Yo. Yeah, so I think the lobby's full. Sadly, yeah. Lobby's full, bro. No, I think Casper just puts it at 21. So that no one else joins. So, next race then? Yeah, sorry, man. Next race, yeah. Alright, yeah, at least you can watch the stream. I will. I will. Guys, the back of the grid. Yeah. You mean last to first? Okay. Alright, take care. Yeah, so that was Gillespie. Sadly, he was going to co-commentate, but came in a little late. And since Casper does the lobbies and he doesn't want any randoms, as most of you guys know Casper, he put the lobby max to 21. So I'm basically taking up that 21st spot. So sadly, he cannot join. So that means another solo. But hopefully for the last two, I'll have someone to accompany me. So 3 rounds remain. After this one, it's going to be 2. So that's how math works. So a lot is at stake here. Championships, drivers, constructors, grand constructors, whatever, awards, everything. Everything is at stake here. And with so little remaining, you best believe it's going to be the hardest racing we're going to get. So Q's did not put in a lap time, so he starts last. Orange Juice, he's P3. Could have maybe gone pole position, but crashed out on his third hot lap, I believe. Second or third hot lap. So for him, gonna have to at least get by the two in front of him, Panju and Jacob. Panju and Jacob fighting their own championship. Especially for Alpine, Jacob with Alpine close to Mercedes in the Grand Constructors and in the Constructors. If I take a look at my championship standings, Mercedes, Red Bull, and Alpine are all still in contention for the championship. For the Constructors Championship of Tier 1. Orange Juice and Q's the only two for the Drivers' Championship in Tier 1. And for the Grand Constructors, every team is still in contention. But right now, the closest two, well, it's Mercedes and Alpine. Only 12 points separate them. Then it's Red Bull, AlphaTauri, Haas, Alfa Romeo, McLaren, Williams, Ferrari, and last, Aston Martin. So, who will come out on top tonight? Will we have a championship clincher? Or are we going to have to wait for Brazil or maybe even Abu Dhabi if it goes to that? That's what we'll see today in Mexico for the Mexican Grand Prix. Hope you guys are ready. So, let's have a look at the tires. So currently, it's a bit of a mix. We have 3 drivers on the hards, Q's, Aussie, and Wi-Fi on the hards. Leclerc, Casper, Senna, Nutt, Colts, Curtis, and Rags on the mediums, and the rest all on the softs. So from 1 to 7, all on the softs. So let's have a look at our grid. In P1, Jacob in the Alpine. He grabs pole. It's his first pole since, hold on a second, check because I don't know these things by heart. I keep track of them, but I don't remember them by heart. It's his first pole since Azerbaijan. And to make you guys see how long that has been, well, the last time he's gone pole, Elsie Blixer won that race. That's how long it's been. In P2, Panju, who's been burning of hot lately, got a couple of good points in the League V-League Championship, and now even got some great points in ASRC. Orange Juice still fighting for the championship. He's barely holding on, but still in contention. He's P3. In P4, Mindless still looking for his first victory of the season, and the first victory for Williams altogether. He's in P4. Crazy Mike in P5, joining his teammate up in the top 5. Looking to come to his aid during this race. Elsie Blixer, last time he won when Yika was on pole. We have Mr. Wildman in 7th, ASRC Leclerc in P8, Emod in P9, Brewdog in P10, Casper in P11, Wi-Fi in P12, Skiller in P13, Aussie P14, Senna P15, FB Arnott in 16th, Colts in 17th, Curtis in P18th, and Magic Rags P19, and the championship leader, who's going to have to do a tremendous drive if he wants the championship to clinch it tonight. He's 20th and starts last. So, it's 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And here we go. The Mexican Grand Prix is underway. And Jacob looks to have gotten a great start. So did Orange Juice. He's already passed Panju. Maybe he's going to try a move on Jacob. Can I get a camera angle closer to the action? Thank you very much. Couple of drivers now going up and down. Jacob still in pole position after the first corner now. That's where it gets interesting. Is there going to be a lot of driver switching? Is there going to be an incident? Doesn't look like it so far. A couple of changing of positions. We're going to have a look at the position change right now. Q's is already up by 5. Skiller down by 2. Curtis down by 2. Nutt down by 2. Orange Juice and Panju switching. Casper up by 2. He gets past his teammate. Emot already down to 11th. And it's Jacob who's up ahead and stays ahead after the start of the race. As there's a yellow flag in Sector 2. That looks to be a Haas. And it's Skiller. And looks to have spun once again. Hopefully he doesn't have any damage. He does a little bit to his front wing. That's already some damage for Skiller, and it already pulls him back by a lot. So Jacob leads after 1 lap. There's 36 laps in total here in Mexico. My chair being squeaky. So DRS not gonna be put in yet. It's gonna be next lap. But Q's already up 7 positions. What a start for him. He's on the hard tires. That's a really great start for him already. Up into P13th. And Senna nags himself the first penalty of the race. Already 2 laps in. He's already got enough warnings to get a 3-second penalty. It's a yellow flag. That's McLaren. I think that's Ponju. It is. I think he's gone into the wall. And he's dropping down. And does he have damage? I think he does. Ponju. Oh, that's a bummer for him. Can I get a camera angle that lets me know if he has damage? Does he have damage? He doesn't seem like he does. So it might have been just a spin. So Ponju already back down to 19th. So that puts Mindless into P3. And Orange Juice not pushing too much so far, but he's going to have DRS. Is he? How does he not have DRS? Oh, DRS got activated. Anyways. He'll most likely get in on the last DRS zone of the lap. So Q's now into P12 after that spin from Ponju. Mindless up into P3. Crazy Mike into P4. FBR Brewdog and Casper switching up a little bit. And now Emod gets by Casper. As now OJ gets DRS. As Ozzy nets himself a penalty. Multiple warnings. And already a 3-second. As another yellow flag. And I think that's FBR Nut that spun once again. And he's got no wing. Now with DRS. Will OJ be able to get by? Jacob starting now. I think Jacob's too far out for now. But there's a lot of laps remaining. FBR Nut lost his wing. He's all the way back down to 19th. And Q's now up to 11th. ASRC Leclerc gets by Blixer. And he's right next to his teammate now. More DRS for Orange Juice. He doesn't get by Jacob just yet. Elsie Blixer might try a shot at Leclerc. He won't just yet. Orange Juice and Jacob still going at it. So a championship is at stake here. SQ is already making up a lot of positions. And he might make up a lot more. He's close to Casper now. As Emod gets ahead of the Aston Martin of FBR Brewdog. Now Q's, the other Mercedes, now has his sights on the Aston Martins. As OJ will get DRS once again. And I think he might have enough. Orange Juice. And I think that's going to be a pretty easy overtake. Or is it not done yet? No, it's not done yet. Around the outside he goes. And OJ's up ahead. And he's going to have DRS coming out of that zone now. Emod and Brewdog still fighting. I'm taking a look at Q's. And Emod and Brewdog. As Brewdog got ahead of Emod. But with DRS, Emod's still going to try for a fight. With DRS, he's no match for Brewdog just yet. Oh, and there's almost a spin there by Emod. He's attacking, he's looking for it. Might try around the inside on Brewdog. Very close, or wheel to wheel. Brewdog still stays ahead, but who's going to get DRS out of that zone? As Magic Rags looks to have gone kicked out of the session. Most likely a problem with his internet. gonna try to make this quick. Sorry about that. I'll try and keep the battle in behind. I just want at least all my drivers on the field. Sorry about that. Gonna try and take a look at the same time. Magic Rags, invite to game. There he is. Okay, so Emod with the... And he gets ahead of Brewdog. And now Jacob, in the meantime, got ahead of Orange Juice and now has DRS. So it's gonna be a battle. As there's a yellow flag in Sector 2. It's DNF for Skiller. Again, he's out. I'd be surprised if it caused a safety car, though. He's pretty wide of the track. He's out of it. Blixer nets himself a penalty. Another yellow flag. That looks to be a Mercedes. Which one is it, though? It's Emod, as it seems. He's gone back, and now his teammate is into P10. So now, Orange Juice with DRS. 310 separate him and Jacob. And that's going to be a pretty easy overtake as it looks. He's going to cover the outside and go across. And that's going to leave him a lot of room. As Emod now into the pits. And I think I might have hit him a bit harder than we thought. As now Orange Juice is ahead of Jacob. And with DRS, he's still ahead. Sadly, I'm not getting any intervals. A couple of penalties now being handed out, and pit stops should be coming in very soon. As Mindless nets himself a penalty, and Jacob still on the march to try and get back to Orange Juice. So these guys are just swapping positions left and right. And even after DRS, I think that might be enough. As Magic Rags, I don't know if he's still on AI. I know Senna's struggling a little bit. And now, it's time for Jacob to get DRS, and this time I'll have a chance to see this battle. As Jacob doesn't have enough just yet with DRS, but there's another zone right after that chicane. Couple of drivers pulling into the pits, Brewdog into the pits. And now Jacob, Orange Juice waving around. Can Jacob get him? He doesn't have enough just yet. Mindless very close to them, but still has that penalty. Western Wildman almost slipped out. And now Q's is right behind Casper. As Casper goes wide, he's going to have to let by Q's, who's now in P8. So Q's making up positions on those hard tires. OJ still pulling away from Jacob. Q's now is 9 seconds to make between him and LC Blixer. But the guys on the softs are going to have to pit real soon, as there's a yellow flag, and this time it's another Haas. It's Curtis, and he tumbles down the field, down into P18. Yikes. And OJ is still ahead, as now Crazy Mike is into the pits. And now Q's, he's P7, but he's got Casper right behind him with DRS. I don't think he's going to catch up to him just yet. This Mindless, I think, is getting involved in that battle between OJ and Jacob. As OJ is slowly pulling away. But Jacob, I think, is still going to have DRS. So he's pulling away, but not as much as he'd hoped to. as Crazy Mike nets himself a penalty. So a lot of penalties on the board right now. Now let's see who goes into pits first. Is that going to be OJ, Jacob, or Mindless? As it's Jacob who heads first into the pits. Out of the three. And now Orange Juice has a little bit more breathing space between him and Jacob. But Mindless, is he going to have enough for DRS in the next zone? That's a real question. Yellow flag, Emod's out. And we've got a DNF'd Mercedes. Emod has spun. He is out of the race. Now, is that going to result in a safety car? Doesn't look like it so far. It would have probably already been out by now. No safety cars. But one half of the Mercedes is out of the race. Speaking of the other half, Q's this P4 as it stands. Another yellow flag. And I think, oh, that's just FBR moving out of the way. Okay. So FBR Nut already lapped. So Emod's out, Skiller's out. FBR Nut's been lapped. And Mindless already catching up to OJ. As Orange Juice pulls into the pits. So does Mindless. Leclerc does not pull into the pits, and I don't think Q's will either. So right now in the lead, it's ASRC Leclerc. As OJ goes onto the mediums. Yellow flag in Sector 3, and I think that's just FBR Nut going into the pits and DNFing most likely. Are you going to retire in the pits? No, I think there might have just been a spin at the pit entry or something. Something definitely happened. And now both McLarens into the pits. And now the sole leader with 12 seconds ahead of Q's as ASRC Leclerc now with fresher tires. Mindless, oh! FBR Nut's got himself a penalty. A 10-second for exceeding track limits, or most likely moving out of the way. So Ozzy now has OJ, Mindless, and Jacob to worry about right behind them. As Wildman nets itself yet another penalty. Now can OJ get ahead of Ozzy? He will not just yet. Yellow flag in Sector 2. And again, that is FBR Nut moving out of the way. So lap 12 out of 36. ASRC Leclerc is in the league. Is in the lead. But he has yet to pit. FBR Nut, another penalty. Yellow flag in Sector 1. And Casper's out. I think he DNF'd heading into the pits. Casper is out of the race. It's not going to cause a little bit of mayhem from the guys trying to get into the pits. Virtual safety car is out. As now Seta heads into the pits. And yeah, Casper just DNFs right before the pit entry. And safety car now. Oh, that changes everything. As Blexer nets itself a 5-second penalty. And we've got ourselves our first safety car of the session. I thought we weren't going to get one. It's been a while since we've had one. But here we are. Safety car is out. So Casper looks to have hit the pit entry wall. He is out of this race. And so Leclerc pulls into the pits for new tires. What will Q's do? Most likely do the same. Head into the pits for some new tires. And E is into the pits. Leclerc on the softs. Q's, mediums. So that's his strategy. He's going to bring those mediums all the way till the end. That is the strategy for Q's. And is it going to pay off? As right now, he's dropping by, and Brewdog's ahead of him. So we already lost 3 drivers, and there's a full-on safety car. And Leclerc still in the lead. Right behind him is Orange Juice, Mindless, Jacob, Wildman, Crazy Mike, LC Blixer, FBR Brewdog, Q's, Colts, Aussie, Wi-Fi, Ponju, Magic Rags, Senna, Curtis, and FBR Nut. And hopefully for Curtis and Senna, they make it out of the pits pretty soon and get enough time to be unlapped. So both on the hards, Senna and Curtis playing the long run game. And this is going to get very interesting. Well, at least the safety car gives me a little bit of time to catch up on some breath. So apparently Casper's reason for DNF, controller disconnected as I go into pits, puts me into wall. Absolutely effing outrageous. That is from Casper, whose controller disconnected, pulling into the pits, so it put him into the wall, and he is out of this race. So safety car should be coming in this lap, or maybe next lap. As FBR Nut, he's decided he's had enough. He's going into the pits, and he DNFs. He's out of the race. So another DNF for FBR Nut, who's been on a streak of just bad races. Hasn't gotten points. It's Austria. So there will be one more lap of safety car, so Senna and Curtis get a chance to get back and rejoin the pack. Oh wait, no, it's actually in this lap. So now, safety car restart. 20 laps to go. Or 21 technically, or even 22 actually. So Leclerc, here he goes, and he crosses the line, and here we go, and I think OJ is already gonna go for him. At the safety car restart, OJ right next to Leclerc. He's gonna go for it. He's got the outside, Leclerc the inside. Leclerc holds his line. What a play. What a start. What a restart from OJ there. This gets right into the tail of ASRC Leclerc. All drivers are looking for something. Anything going their way. Wi-Fi, Colts. As Leclerc, after being close to Orange Juice, he pulls away. And as of right now, Q's has got the championship locked. As he's P8, that's what he needs if OJ's P2. There's still much left to this race. Chelsea Blixer nets himself another time penalty. As Leclerc is just flying out there. He's already 2 seconds ahead of Orange Juice. Really gives you Australia flashbacks of Red Bull being close to a guy named Leclerc, and then Leclerc just pulling away. You watched the race yesterday, like I did, and stayed up until 3 a.m. just to watch Max Verstappen DNF. Well, props to you. You went through the same hell as me, just watching a race this early. So now, Q's looking for... Oh, and Leclerc nets himself a penalty. He got too greedy with it. So now OJ, Jacob, Q's, Brewdog, Colts, Podju, Rags, and Curtis are the only drivers without a... Oh, Blixer spins! He's in the wall, he's out! And is that going to cause another safety car? I think it will. That's a virtual. It's a full safety car once again. And once again, a safety car. Not even 2 laps after the other one went in. And Blixer's out. And for the second race in a row, he DNFs. And another safety car. And a couple of drivers pulling into the pits. Brewdog into the pits, puts in new softs. Colts onto new hards. Podju onto mediums. So another full safety car. And that puts the strategy of Q's new mediums even better. So we're down 5 drivers already. And we have a second safety car of the race. And Blixer says, and I quote, "Thank God it's finally over." So I guess he truly did not want to race tonight. So 2 safety cars. So, this race is pretty much up for grabs for anyone. It looks like Leclerc had the best restart. And lap 18 out of 36, about 18 laps remaining. Wheel glitching the whole race, sound cutting in all the time, BS penalties, so Blixer did not have the best race, once again having trouble with his wheel. Like I said last time, Jacob was on pole, he won the race. And that was his only win of the season. So not going too well for our Season 1 champion, Elsie Blixer. As the safety car is in this lap. Oh, had a sore throat there. So now, modification for safety car in this lap came in a little early, a little earlier this time. Safety car will come in, and I'm taking a look at OJ. Will he get the same result? As Colts nets himself a penalty on a safety car restart. OJ once again pushing to a limit. And can he get by Leclerc? I think he has a less better chance. No, wait, he might actually do. Leclerc still ahead, covers the outside, does extremely well. Even Wildman's into the battle, but against Mindless, he comes all the way down to P5. And Wildman, he's right next to Mindless. Who will make the first move? Late break by Wildman. Wheel to wheel with Mindless. Who's gonna get ahead? Oh, there's a bit of contact. Not too much though. Great save by Wildman, not to push too hard and get a driver out of the race. Great win there by Wildman to keep it straight. But he's already losing a little bit of time to Mindless. And Orange Juicy is already a second and 6/10 behind ASRC Leclerc. And Mindless, he's 7/10 right behind OJ. So still no DRS. We'll get DRS activated next lap. Poncho's all the way into P15. Oh, yellow flag. Looks to be a collision. Oh yeah, there's been a collision between Colts and Curtis. And that leads Colts with a 5-second penalty. No broken wings, but it looks like both of these two went for a move, and it didn't come out too well. Now Q's is looking for a chance to get by Crazy Mike. Jacob getting pretty close to Wildman. So DRS will be activated once all drivers cross the line. As Leclerc nets in another fastest lap of the race. He's flying out there. As DRS is enabled now. Wildman is weaving a little bit. But Jacob has a chance. Will he go for Wildman? He has much more ERS than him. Wildman covers the outside, now the inside. Jacob's waiting, so he's going to wait for the next DRS zone. Wildman's a pretty tough guy to overtake. The next DRS zone not activated just yet. Now Wildman covers the outside, and it doesn't leave any chance for Jacob whatsoever. Was very close to him. That battle for P4 right now is a battle to P9 at most, and even P10 is pretty close. But right now it's Jacob against Wildman. What our closest battles right now. And with DRS now, Miley is going to get a chance on Orange Juice. And you know that Orange Juice does not want that. That is the least that he wants. And he tries to cover the outside, and that's not going to be enough. As Mindless goes up ahead, Jacob overtakes Wildman. And Aussie overtakes Wi-Fi. Now Q's Crazy Mike, Wildman does not have DRS. The other Alpine's going to go for him. Wildman covers the inside. Crazy Mike tries the outside. Not enough. Wi-Fi and Aussie, they're pretty close. They're wheel to wheel. And Aussie goes a bit wide. He's going to have to let Wi-Fi by. Now OJ will need something to go his way. He needs to get by Mindless. But right now, Mindless seems to have the upper hand. The person that has the most leverage right now, it's Leclerc, 5 seconds ahead. I actually muted myself there. 5 seconds, 5.6 seconds ahead of Mindless. And now another battle. Will Wildman get by at Jacob? It's going to be DRS once again. Q's going to be part of that battle too. And he has fresher tires. Orange Juice will not have enough just yet. Wildman doesn't seem like he have enough either. So nothing changes thus yet. Q's Crazy Mike Jacob has a pretty tight battle right now, all the way for P4. And with about 13 laps remaining, time is ticking for Orange Juice. As Q's, he tried to make a move on Crazy Mike. But he doesn't go for it just yet. Thought about it going into the chicane. Senna nets himself another penalty. One of many. And now Q's with DRS. He's got Crazy Mike. He's going to make a move around the inside. So will Wildman. And both Wildman and Q's get by the person in front of them. They both get by an Alpine. Now, Jacob will not have DRS, but Q's will. And you know, these two are going to be battling hard also. Alpine and Mercedes both looking for something to go their way. Q's now P6. Orange Juice in P3. And Leclerc getting away. Even a stronger lead. Now he's 7.1 seconds ahead. And now Q's with DRS. Is he going to try and move on Jacob? Ooh, not yet. He's still waiting for it. Jacob pretty close to Wildman. There's yellow flag. Sector 2. Looks to be just a minor spin, most likely. Now Wildman, Jacob. Even Crazy Mike and Ozzy are in that battle. Both with DRS also. But Q's and Jacob, how's that going to end? Jacob now gets in front of Wildman. And even Q's actually might get a chance at this. And now he's up into the battle, even closer than ever. Crazy Mike nets himself a penalty, a 3-second there. And the Q's is loose. He's got DRS. Wildman doesn't. He goes to cover the inside on Wildman. Wildman tries. He gets a wheel on Q's. Q's has to go around. Wildman not letting him any space. But Q's still stays ahead. So Q's now into P5. Orange Juice P3. He needs to win as it stands. So about 12 laps remaining now. And I think Jacob is going to get by. Actually, Q's is going to get by Jacob on this next lap. And I think he will. He has DRS. And he pushes. He's looking for it. Is he going to go around the inside or the outside? He's got a little bit of slipstream. Oh, he's waiting for it. He's going to go for the next DRS zone. I think he has more chances right there. Ten laps remain. And as it stands, Q's has got the championship locked in. Now he's trying to get by that Alpine. As OJ trying to get by the Williams of Mindless, and he's been stuck behind for a while. And with 12 points separating Mercedes and Alpine, Jacob's trying his best also to hold up Q's. Oh, and there's a penalty by Mindless for speeding in the pit lane. So Mindless goes for a pit stop. And Q's now with DRS. Is he going to have enough? So speeding in a pit lane, that just removes a lot of chances for Mindless, who now gets out of the pits in P9. Crazy Mike also went for a pit. And with 10 laps to go, a couple of late pit stops. Orange Juice now 9 seconds to make to ASRC Leclerc. Now OJ has two choices. He either gambles the pit, or he doesn't. He's in a pretty tight situation because he has no choice to finish first as it stands. Because Q's has got the upper hand in the championship. And with not a lot of time left, everything is at stake here. As Leclerc pulls into the pits. What does OJ do? OJ, he's thinking about it. No, he stays out. So now OJ's in the lead. Jacob and Q's not going into the pits just yet. And all three are on the same tire compound, but the age of the tire is different. None of them have penalties. Ozzy and Magic Crags also pull into the pits. Now there's 9 laps to go. And right now there's one position that is separating Q's and Orange Juice from a championship battle. Because if Q's nets P2, he wins the championship. But as it stands, Orange Juice is P1, so he's still alive. This is going to be a dramatic finish to this race. As Q's still struggling to get by Jacob. OJ cannot risk it. He has to stay out. He doesn't have a choice, so he just has to hope that Jacob does a mistake, or maybe Q's does a mistake. What happened there? There might have been something that had happened, but now Q's is out of DRS range, and now Wildman is on his tail. And now Wildman is ahead of Q's, and he's up into the podium position. Q's into P4. So now OJ just needs to keep it steady. ASRC Leclerc, he's on fresh softs, and that could come in as a game changer. As if he goes back for that P1. As a wild man, he has 12 seconds of penalty though. Jacob nets himself a penalty. Leclerc has a penalty. Q's and Wildman switching places once again. Q's now ahead of Wildman. I almost fell out of my chair there. So what was I trying to look? Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to look at. A leader. So 4 seconds separate Leclerc and Orange Juice. 5 seconds as his teammate pulls into the pits, and so does Jacob. And as it stands right now, Q's has got the championship. But Leclerc has got the faster tire. Yellow flag. DNF from Senna. And is that going to lead to a safety car? I hope it doesn't. As now Leclerc, he gets by Q's. And now Leclerc now puts a dent into championship hopes. As OJ now, he needs to stay behind Leclerc, but Leclerc's got pace. As OJ, no, he nets himself a penalty. Oh no. That could do it. As Leclerc, ooh. He took out that board right there. Now OJ has one more thing to worry about. He has to stay within 3 seconds of Q's, and that's what he's doing right now. He has the opportunity of doing that. Now Mila's coming for Q's. 5 laps remaining. The championship still up for grabs for anyone. But right now, Leclerc, both of them have a penalty. So right now, OJ is in the lead. He's into P1, and even with the penalties, he's still P1. But with the penalty, Leclerc, I think Leclerc actually, if I get a look at it, Leclerc right now hasn't gone much. Ozzy, Jacob, and Crazy Mike switching up places lower in the field. 2.7 seconds separate Leclerc and Q's. 1.2, 1.1 separate Leclerc and OJ. And the championship lays on this. ASRC Leclerc has the power to say who does the championship go to. He is 3 seconds ahead of Q's. So Q's is still P3 right now. Both OJ and Leclerc have 3-second penalties. So right now OJ has the advantage, but so does Leclerc. Leclerc now the advantage over Orange Juice, and he's gonna have DRS. And with that, Leclerc takes the lead of the race. And for OJ, it's a dramatic situation. He has to stay ahead of Q's, and he has to stay ahead of Leclerc. What a dramatic end this is going to be to Mexico. .6 seconds. OJ's only hope is that Leclerc takes himself another penalty, but there isn't much left. Leclerc is pulling away, and he is flying. So he got 2 seconds ahead of OJ. OJ's only hope is that either Leclerc spins or he gets himself another penalty. And 3 laps remain now. 4 laps actually, sorry. 4 laps remain. Yellow flag in sector 1. That's a DNF from Panju. He's out. And safety car is out. With 4 laps to go, the safety car is out. Oh my, that changes everything. Oh my god. Safety car, 4 laps remain. Now what do OJ and Q's do? Because that's the thing that's gonna separate them. As now Jacob, Ozzy, Crazy Mike, Rags, Wi-Fi all go on new tires. I think Colts and Curtis will most likely do the same. Yes, they will. No, actually, Colt stays out. He's on new tires. Curtis does, though. And a late safety car caused by Panju. This is going to get interesting. Because the leader is yet to catch up to the safety car. And so now that'll group up everyone together. Now what does OJ do? OJ, he stays out. Q's also stays out. Oh my. This is unbelievable. So both Q's and OJ stay out. Mindless into the pits. Wildman into the pits. Brewdog stays out. And Leclerc catches up to the safety car, and what an ending this is gonna be. What an ending. There are a lot of scenarios. A lot of scenarios. And the safety car is out. And oh, what is OJ? He spun, he's hit the wall. No way. OJ has spun, he's hit the wall. Safety car in this lap. And I think that's gonna do it. Oh no. He spun on the safety car. And that's gonna do it. Most likely, unless Q's DNFs. And OJ gets something out of it. But that might do it. And safety car has restarted. Q's is P2. Brewdog now gets ahead of Q's. OJ into the pits. And there's nothing that OJ can do. He's all the way down into P11. And as it stands, FBR Brewdog could be your winner. But it's not over yet. Penalties come into play. But Jacob and Mindless have 6 seconds. And they have to pull that gap from Q's. And I don't think that's going to be possible. But as it stands right now, FBR Brewdog could be your winner here in Mexico. But that's not the biggest story, as Leclerc now crosses the line for the final lap of the race. Oh, that's a bit anticlimactic. So Brewdog's still behind, he's still ahead of Q's. Mindless now. Still trying to fight against Q's. And Brewdog still staying in that 3-second range against Leclerc. And Brewdog, who would have thought? It's the spirit of Mr. Blaze. Brewdog has not won a race since Austria. Leclerc, another penalty. 6 seconds. And that's gonna be more than enough. As the frames drop, the fireworks are out. And when all said and done, Leclerc crosses the line first, but he's gonna have a penalty. FBR Brewdog wins the Mexican Grand Prix. Q's is champion of Tier 1. He's done it. It took a lot longer than expected, but Q's is champion. He has done it. For 2 seasons in a row, Q's brings home the championship. And he does it in Mexico. The Q's is loose. From last place to second place. And FBR Brewdog out of nowhere winning. But Q's is champion. He's done it. Set, claimed, and clinched. Another victory for Brewdog. It's his third of the season. And the championship stays home in Nova Scotia. Q's is your champion of ASRC. It was a big fight at the last few moments. A botched safety car restart and bad luck all around. Orange Juice has fought his way, but it has come just short, winning 6 races in a row from Bahrain to Spa, then Canada, then missing a lot of races, winning in Italy and Japan, now coming P2 in Mexico. Q's is your champion. And wow, that was probably one of the best races of the season. I've got goosebumps. It came all the way to the last second. But pushing P. And pushing for the entire season is Q's with the championship. But this season has seen some drivers that have been able to rival him. He has dominated early in the season, but later in the season took a little bit of a stumble. He has clinched it. He's won it in Season 2. In Season 3. Actually, he's won in both of them. He's won in Season 2. He's won in Season 3. But what about next season? For now, he can enjoy it. Mercedes can enjoy it. Q's is champion. Thank you for watching, everyone. We have crowned a champion, but the season is far from over. There's still 2 weeks, 2 races left in Tier 1. Brazil and Abu Dhabi for the next 2 weeks. And we also have Tier 2 racing this Wednesday in Mexico on their own. That championship also has been clinched by another Q's. This one, it was Q's 1. This Wednesday, 6:45 EST. The Tier 2 Drivers' Championship, well, that's actually been claimed. The Tier 2 Championship is going to head to Mexico on its own. And then we head back next Monday in Brazil for round 22. 2 races remain. The season is almost coming to a close. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I will see you next week.